Tonight we have a special and inspiring guest speaker who goes by the name of Shocka artist. Tonight's topic of the hour is the autobiographical life of Shocka, music entertainment, mental health, and so much more. Hi, Shocka.
Are we live, yeah? I can see you. I can see the hat you're wearing. I can see...
Oh, wait. If you can see the hat, is it dope?
Yeah, I like it.
All right. Okay, we good then. Hi, Sharks. How are you? I'm
Hi.
sending you a virtual hug, yeah? You'll be the only one I've sent a hug to, so here you go. Yeah? How are you, my brother?
I'm good. Like, I'm blessed. I'm good.
Let me start with how has your day been leading up to this talk this evening with me?
My day it's been quite quiet, you know. I think
Yeah?
this is like the highlight of my day. This is like the highlight of my
Oh,
this
that's
this
nice.
this takes me into the weekend like smoothly.
Oh, well, they don't call me free flow for no reason, so let's do it. Yeah, all right. So let's start with let me start with some soul connectivity, okay? And
Yes.
why I do this is because we're living in a world of social media and all of our handles, and I think that we either forget or we never knew to begin with who we are outside of socials and what we think we are and what we look like. You agree?
Yeah,
Yeah?
totally.
So
Yeah.
let's go straight to the soul and then deal with the handles as we unlayer, if that's all right with you.
Yeah.
So let's soul connect this a little bit. So who is Shocka artist? Let's start there.
Who is Shocker artist? Do you know what? On a soul level,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like just looking at how I came into this world,
Mm.
my purpose has been very clear because my mother had two miscarriages before she had me.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like for God to allow me to come through that same wound that had the two miscarriages, I have something to do, if that makes
Oh,
sense. Do you know what I
mm.
mean?
Then.
So that already lets me know that I'm the first in my family to go down a different path, just how I've come in naturally.
Oh.
And then me doing music and me pursuing this career, I am the first in my family to go down this path and take the left. I wouldn't say I'm the black sheep, but I am the first to do something different. So, and I feel like they say you attract who you are into your life, yeah. So if that's who I am,
Mm.
and I'm the first to do something different in my family, that means majority of the people on this live, and you, including yourself, I don't even have to know you. I just know if you do bring in who you are, then that's who you are. You're probably similar to me, and you're probably the first in your family to go down a similar path and a similar road. So that just says everything to like who I am. I feel like,
Oh, that was such an impactful intro. I'll give you a little secret though, a snippet of what I think in terms of do I subscribe to we attract who we are. I do subscribe to a percentage. I couldn't tell you how much a percentage it is, but a lot of us attract so much turbulence or so much generational
mhm.
issues or curses or whatever it is. And did we go out looking for that? I don't know. But I hear you, and I like the fact that you feel like we resonate on a frequency level, which is why we're here today. So I'll have that. Definitely, I'll
No,
take that.
I feel like some of the turbulences that come into your world, like randomly that you didn't call for, could be
Mm,
like tests and lessons that you need to learn. But I mean, like your
mm-hmm,
actual tribe that you're with, the people that you talk to on your phone and you text, and
mm-hmm.
those actual people, 95% of the time are similar to who you are.
Oh, with me for sure, because I'm selective.
Yeah, same,
Okay.
same.
Yeah. I'm like steroid. When the doctor gives you a lotion, he says use it sparingly. That's how I'm
Yeah,
with people because energy, you know what I'm
definitely,
saying? Okay,
100%.
so I know you are from a Nigerian background. Yes,
Yes.
I've been snooping in your business today.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I know you're from a Nigerian background,
I am.
and originally from up north, London. Am I
Yeah,
correct? Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
So what part of the world are you currently speaking in right now?
I'm in Tottenham right now. I'm in North London, Tottenham, Broadwater Farm.
Ah, you're still up there, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Was you born in London or Nigeria? I know you said
I
you
was,
schooled up there.
yes, I went boarding school out there.
Oh, you born?
I was born here though. I was born in England.
Ah, what was it like? Let me go to actually, in that case, what was you like as a child?
Um, what was I like as a child?
Yeah, let's go back.
What age are we talking about?
whichever thing, anything that pops up into your mind, like there's always prominent times whether you were 2, 4, or 6, or anything that pops into your mind that resonates and that's prominent for you, like that description of what you were like as a child.
I was extremely confident.
Ooh.
I'm like really like introverted now. It's weird. I've done like the complete opposite. Like I'm still confident, but it's not like an outspoken confidence. It's more like a silent confidence. Like I'm sure and I know what I can do. But at that time, as a child, I can just remember me being confident always. I did every sport you can think of. Like I ran for my school, cross country for my school, won medals for my school. Football, I got a bag of trophies at home. So I was always like, and I feel like that's in my DNA because my dad was a boxer.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So
from an athletic background. Okay.
So it's actually in me. My dad was a boxer. So as a kid, I used to see all his trophies on top of the cabinet. And that just inspired me, even though he wasn't in my life physically, but just seeing that alone inspired me. So that's an important lesson to take away as well, just to show that like what your parents do is important. Like your kids are watching.
Oh my God,
your kids are watching, because he wasn't even physically there, but just me knowing that like he chased his dream in some sort of way inspired me to want to like chase my dream and go down his path. So he probably played a part subconsciously that he wouldn't even realize.
That is nice.
Yeah.
So you described a little bit of what you were like as a young boy. How would your family and friends describe you now?
Shit, what would they say now? They'll say I'm hella funny. I always get that.
I get that too.
Yeah, I always get that. I'm hella funny. They'll say I'm real selective. That's why I like that you use the word selective. I'm very, very selective. I'm the person that like when you say to me, come over to my house, my question is who's gonna be there and who's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, like I've become extremely selective because like I got a friend called Ben, a good friend called Ben, and he always says to me that I'm the kind of person where if I'm upset, everyone around me will be upset. And if I'm happy, everyone around me will be happy. I've got that kind of energy. Do you know what I mean? Like I kind of dictate.
You don't have to convince me. I'm going to tell you what you've done to me today by watching you on YouTube. So yeah, I believe that. That is 100%. I don't even know you like that, but I know that's a whole fact what you just said to me.
Yeah. So and I think that translates through my content as well on Instagram.
100%.
Because I get like what you said to me when you was talking to me, saying you liked one video and then you liked another one. I always get that. Like whenever someone comes on my page, they don't just like one video and come off my page. I'll see them like 10 and then they'll DM me after. So I feel like I translate the way I am very well, like through my socials.
Amazingly. Because we're going on the journey this evening, I'm going to unlayer you one layer at a time, like an onion, and then I'm going to put it back together like a lotus by the end of this talk. I promise. So that's amazing. All right, so 2 more warm-up questions before we get into you is who are you when no one's watching?
Oh my God. Who am I when no one's watching? I'm like I've got a tattoo of a can you see that?
Yeah, go that. Is that a Buddhist head?
I got a Buddhist tattoo on my arm,
Those, okay, go on.
And I feel like when no one's watching, I'm like a monk. I'm like a Buddhist.
Wow.
Yeah, like just the best way to describe it. I'm like a Buddhist. I'm like a monk. Like I proper sit there in silence. Like my little cousin's in the live. Like she knows in my room I have no TV.
Hi, cousin.
I have no TV. I have none of that. I'm literally just in silence, and I'm just like, I saw a video on TikTok the other day. I've just jumped on this whole TikTok wave. Yeah.
Have you? I haven't. I can't quite with that or Snapchat yet.
I'm not posting on TikTok. I'm using it differently. Like I'm actually like just watching. They've got amazing content on TikTok. Like if you want to learn,
really, okay,
because you can just type in what you want to learn. So you can put in inspirational, and then it'll show you inspirational videos for you.
Okay, you might
So
convert me on that one. All
I've
right.
put in like spirituality and stuff, and it just shows me different videos for me. So I've been learning so much. But I saw a video that describes it perfectly. They said when you start awakening, your inner world becomes more exciting than your outer world. Pe-
Oh,
People might perceive you as boring because you're so lost in your inner world, and that's like where I'm at now. My inner world's become so exciting. I literally hours will go by, and the hours that just went by is just me picking my own brain, like unlayering different belief systems that I got and different memories and different things I haven't healed from, and that takes, I can get lost in that for like a whole day just doing that. Do you know what I mean?
wow.
That's why the lockdown served me well, because I feel like I used my time in the lockdown well. I didn't use my time complaining and being upset that we're in lockdown. I actually used the time to like learn and study and get better
Wow.
and improve. So I'll say that's who I am. That's
That's
who I am when no
amazing.
one's watching.
That's
I'm like,
what you quoted me a moment ago about when you enlighten or when you become more awakened. That sounds like an amazing quotation tattoo. I like that.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right, that sounds quite good. All right, so one last question as the warm in, which is, what thoughts keep you awake at night?
Um, I can tell you what thoughts used to keep me awake at night. They don't keep me awake anymore. But thoughts are, and I think everyone on this life probably has the same thoughts that kept them awake at night as well. But it was thoughts of my future.
Yeah,
Thoughts
me.
of my
Me
future.
too.
I used to be so paranoid about my future, and that's because of the occupation I've chosen to go, the path I've chosen to go down. It's not like, do you know what I mean? Like this path is not, nothing's guaranteed, but this is like a lottery. Do you know what I mean? Doing music, it's literally like not guaranteed,
100%.
and it's also not age friendly. The scene I'm in,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like a,
true.
it's like a
Depending
young
on
man.
your genre.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The scene I'm in, like rap.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Rap's like a young man's sport. Do you know what I mean? So when I
Mm.
started hitting 30, I'm 33 now, just turned 33 on Thursday. When I started
Wow,
hit,
oh, you're younger than that. Okay.
yeah, I get that a lot. When I just turned 30, I was having all those, that the 30 nightmare that everyone has that. And
Really? No, that was 40 for me, but now I'm 45. So you got
yeah,
time.
30, I was having that. So that used to keep me awake a lot. Like just thoughts of like, what's gonna happen and where am
Mm,
I gonna end up? But like, um, I feel like I overcame that now by just letting go.
mm.
I feel like
Just
I just,
being.
yeah,
Have you taught yourself then to be more in the present moment? Because I
definitely.
heard that Buddhist perspective
I'm
comes
working on it.
right.
I'm really working on it. But I'm working on the importance of letting go. Letting go is so important,
Yeah.
so important. And just like
Mm,
because I saw another video that said something that made so much sense. Um, it said the mind is not designed to know. The mind's not designed to figure out what happens. The mind's
mm.
only designed to see what's happening. Meaning, you can't sit down and physically predict what's going to happen next. You can create what's going to happen next, but do you know what I mean? I don't know if someone's going to stop in front of me on a bike now. I don't know, but my mind can perceive what's happened after it's happened. So I might as well just let go to whatever people believe in. If you want to believe in God, the universe, whatever you believe in, I might as well let go to that energy because I believe that energy has my best intention at heart and could guide me to the best places. And I'd rather let go to surrender to that and let it do what it's supposed to do. And ever since I've done that, my life's just become like an explosion of miracles. Like seriously, like just
Ooh, that
just
sounds
different,
so lush.
yeah,
I'm
different.
actually still working on that myself. I'm into mindfulness. I think you're the kind of guy that seems like he would be interested in a lot of mindfulness and all
Yeah,
that kind of
100%,
yeah.
definitely.
You strike me as someone who's quite philosophical, and I'm very philosophical. So I'm resonating with your spirit vibration so much, it's unreal. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's unreal. And if you've learned that at a younger age than me, that's amazing because I spend too much time out of the present, which is why
yeah.
I've become a lot more free with this being with the now. So I'm getting
Hmm.
there, getting there with a lot of mindfulness. All
Yeah.
right. So let's jump straight into thank you for the warm up. That was really enlightening for me to get to know you on a free flow level.
Hmm.
Hi everyone. I want to take a moment to thank those who joined us today, and for those who has not joined us, you can watch us on the playback on my page. Yeah,
Yeah.
peace and love to you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shocks. let's go into Shocka, the artist. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. I would love to know. Let me be psychodynamic and then go back to the past before we get to the humanistic, which is the here and now. That's counseling term. Yeah. All right. So on a psychodynamic level, when did you first realize that you had some musical talent and an ability? How young were you?
Young. I started young, which I was really lucky. Like,
What's your
I
first
advise,
memory?
I advise everyone to start young, but it doesn't
You
matter
can't
because
really do that. It's a natural ability. It's a natural, I'm a creative person, creative.
I was gonna say
That.
like it doesn't. When you
Yeah,
start is when you start. But for me, the reason why I say I advise you to find what you want to do young is because like you have to put your 10,000 hours in to get better.
I remember.
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So like
that.
when you're young, you got all the time to get that 10,000 hours out the
Yeah,
way, and then because when you get to like 30, you can still get the 10,000 hours out the way, but real life distracts you. Do you know what I mean? Like you might
yes,
have kids, or you
100%.
might have a job, or you might have bills. Whereas I was young, so I had all the time in the world just to focus and improve on my craft. I started
100%.
rapping. I started rapping when I was like 11, 12.
Oh wow,
And how I started rapping is
that's it.
I saw Heartless Crew. I used to be into football. There's a community center right in front of me, and they used to do something called the presentation where they give out awards every year to like different players. So they'll have like players player of the year, you get an award, or managers player of the year, or most improved player. And then after that whole ceremony, they have an after party where they bring artists to perform. And
Mm.
they brought Heartless Crew down to perform. And that was the first time I saw anything like that. Someone holding a microphone and rapping, and the way there was everyone was jumping up and down. I was like, I want to do that when I'm older. That is exactly what I want to do. And
That
then
was your
ever
first
since
inspiration.
that was my first like encounter. And then ever since that day, I started recording all their tapes, and I got all their CDs. And what I started doing, I started spitting their lyrics to my friends, pretending that it's mine. And then one day, one of my friends found out that it's not my lyric, and he was like, "You made it sound better than the actual person that it was their lyric. You should try writing your own." And I was like,
That
"Ah,
makes you
cool."
feel good.
And then I tried doing my own, and then yeah, people used to just go crazy. That reaction is like a drug. If you talk to any
Wow.
artist, they'll tell you like that reaction of someone like giving you a look, or like it's just amazing. It's that high. You can't get it from anywhere else, and it's just kept me on my journey. Like it's just kept me on this path.
Euphoria, utopia, that feeling.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
is.
So as you started, is it with Marvel?
Yes.
Yeah. I would love to know. I know that when spoke to so many people during your career and
Yeah.
your journey that I'm trying to also find a few questions that maybe you haven't been asked. Yeah, that was a part of the warm up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now going to be the typical questions that everyone's asked you, unfortunately. Yeah, but let's get into it. It's new for me with you. It's my experience. Yeah, with you.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me ask you, where did you meet? Where did you first encounter and meet the Brotherhood, which you then created the group Marvel? How did you meet each other?
Do you know, no one hasn't really asked me that question, actually.
I'm loving that. Okay,
Yeah,
what come
no
first?
one hasn't really asked me that question.
All
Um,
right.
so for people locked in, you should know my journey by now. But if anyone of you lot
Yes.
don't, she's referring to a group that I was in called Marvel. I was in this group called Marvel. It was a grime group. There was three of us, me, Double S and Vertex, and our DJ Limit and our manager Ben. I met Double S in school. I actually went to the same school as Double S. We went to Greg City Academy, and Double S is like the face of Marvel. He's like the most popular one. He's like the most
Oh,
famous one.
wow.
Yeah, he's like the
Okay.
most famous one. He's like the face of Marvel. So I used to hear about Double S's name in the area anyway, because like he was known for music, and I used to hear his name in the area. Then we went to the same school, and then someone at lunchtime, someone got me and Double S in the corridor and got us to spit together. Yeah,
Oh,
and
wow.
then yeah,
Was
and
it
then we
flash or was it just a
no,
collab?
it's just back to back.
All right.
And then like we became cool, and then he got shipped to Uganda.
Oh, wow.
He got sent to Uganda for boarding school, and then we stayed in touch. Like we used to send each other songs on MSN Messenger. We used to send each other songs going way back on MSN Messenger. And then I got shipped to Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got sent to boarding school, and then the third member that's in the group, Vertex, he got sent to boarding school over here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so all three of us went to different boarding schools. And then when I came back from Nigeria, I was actually in another group called Chain Gang first.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I
Okay.
was in a group called Chain Gang for a while, and then
In
that
in
group,
in Nigeria or in London?
nah, in London. When I came back, I
Okay.
joined a group called Chain Gang, which is, I don't know if you remember, but back in the days, there used to be like youngers and olders. I don't know if people
Mm-hmm.
still do that now. They say that's not older, but there used to be
Yeah.
youngers and olders.
As far as I'm concerned, I got youngers.
Yeah, and
Got the
we
bubble
was
and whatever for that.
we
Yeah.
was the youngest to Wretch 3-2. We was the youngest to him. So we was Chain Gang, and he was in a group called Combination Camp. And Chain Gang was the
Ah,
youngest, the Combination Camp. That's how I know Wretch 3-2, because we're from the same area. So I've
I'm gonna
seen
get
him
onto that.
like I've seen him like way before like this whole he blew up and became who he is. So like that was inspiring in itself. Like I could not see myself not going down this path due to everyone that was from my area that's become big. Like I've seen Chipmunk's career, I've seen Skepta's career, I've seen Rex's career, I've seen Sway's career. There's like so much people from here that I've actually physically seen in the flesh, and
Mm,
then seen them on my television and seen people screaming at them, and I was just like, yo, it's possible. Like, and
of
I think
course.
that is it's so
Rich is
important
amazing.
to see it.
I'm a personal fan of Rich as well. I think he's an amazing artist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's incredible. He's incredible. So yeah,
Mm,
it's so important to see success. Like it's actually very important.
wow.
It's so important. Like, I encourage anyone to get close to success as possible,
That's
whether it's
possible.
going to a live show and just seeing that person on stage, or if you got a dream car, then go to the showroom and sit in it. Just get as close to success as possible, because like it's so important.
Mm, absolutely. So before we get into the meat of the conversation, I'm still nibbling around the crust.
Yeah,
Yeah. What was your mother? I know your mother brought you up alone pretty much. I know you had your aunties and other people like that around you
yeah,
though. I
yeah.
told you I've been nosing around, yeah, today
Hmm.
on your video.
Yeah, yeah,
It's nice to get to know you a little bit before coming on and talking with you. Um,
definitely.
what was your mother's first reaction to my son wants to be a musician? Really? Did that go down well?
Um, my mom's mad supportive, you know.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't have that story of like my mom didn't want me to do music and she wanted me to get a job, and like my mom's mad supportive. I
As
don't
an
know if it's because
African, that's quite rare for me. Sorry to interject, because
yeah,
my bestie before he passed away, he wanted to be musician, and they said no, you've been a doctor, and he's from Nigeria. Same thing. So I'm glad that your mum was pretty much your biggest supporter. If that's the case.
because
I'm glad to hear it.
my mom's like free spirited. My mom's like
Wow.
proper free spirited. Like she's not like the typical like African mom. Like she's different. Like she's free spirited. Um, she's into culture. Like not into culture, but she knows what's going on. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mm,
she's proper. She's cool. Like
he's conscious. Yeah.
yeah. Like my when I was younger, my house was the house to come to.
Oh wow. Okay.
I had like all the computer games and all the fresh clothes and
I
like
know you were spoiled. I heard you
yeah,
say
I
it.
was spoiled. Like spoiled, spoiled.
Are you still a mummy's boy then? Are you mummy's boy?
100%. Definitely at heart. Definitely, man. Definitely, man. I was
So let
spoiled.
me
Like,
ask you, okay, will you sport with what will you sport with? Because for an example, I am
yeah,
known to be very loving,
yeah,
but I am a militant mum on the B side.
yeah,
I'm not I'm always hands up, yeah. He was never raised with being beaten or smacked. I think he got smacked 3 times in his life. From,
yeah, yeah,
I sport him with love and affection so much. I think it's because my growing up in a Dominican Caribbean household, Dominican slash Jamaican, my parents was not shown all that affection and emotion. So I felt starved from it. So, and I did feel, I think, almost like emotionally, I felt starved from that. So once I had my son, I had an oath that I was going
yeah,
to support him with so much love, and affection. But that was it. Other than that, I was a disciplinarian, and I think he resents me for that to this day, to be honest. So, was Mum a disciplinarian at all, or
yeah.
did she spoil you through and through?
No, she spoke me through and through.
All right, then I
Yeah,
like
she spoke me through and through.
it.
Like she went too strict. She went strict, but like that could have backfired. That could have
Yeah,
backfired because I could have taken
yeah.
advantage of it and like went out and just, you know, become like but I felt like I was always spiritually grounded. That trip to Nigeria really changed the trajectory of everything. Because
Really?
yeah, man, because that's where I got introduced to spirituality and introduced to God, and I
Wow.
never had that before I went to Nigeria. Like I got I got sent to Nigeria because I was naughty.
You see, in my head, I was going to say to you, I heard another story today. I won't put her name.
Yeah,
And she was sent back home. You might know who this is on another story of Deep Rooted. Yeah. And
yeah,
she was sent back home and it didn't work out that way. So it's nice that you felt like that almost saved you also,
it
that
did.
brought you deeper into spirituality, which meant connecting with your own self, sense of
Yeah,
self.
definitely. Yeah,
I'm
definitely. It
glad
did.
it worked for you because that's
It
not
did
everyone's
save me.
story.
It did save me
Yeah.
because I was all my friends that I grew up with and was in school with, my best friends, they're all in jail. So like I
Wow.
was evidently that would have been me because the moves that they would have been on or whatever they did to get them there, I
Mm-hmm.
95% of would have been with them, and that
Mm-hmm.
would have been me. So like that sending me to Nigeria was like definitely divine intervention. Like it was something that was meant to happen.
100%. So just going back a little bit before we go forward,
Yeah.
your previous Marvel clique, are you still in contact? Are you still friends? You still associate?
I'm friends with Double S. I talk
Mm-hmm.
to him like every single day. Like we're sending each other stuff on the Instagram. We're talking on. There's times when we're talking on three different platforms at the same time. We're talking on WhatsApp, Instagram, and Twitter at the same time.
Wow.
That's like my best friend. Like I talk to him every day.
Oh,
The other one in the group, Vertex, he actually moved to Ghana.
oh wow.
Yeah, he's been living in Ghana for like the last 3-4 years. So I don't talk to him as much. I tried to get all of us on a song for my album. It was meant to be a surprise. I tried to
Oh,
I really tried to make it happen. But
your
um,
reunion.
yeah, man, I felt like, because I was talking to one of my supporters and I was like, who would you like to see on my album? I thought they was going to say something crazy like Stormzy or Dave. And they was like, oh,
Of course,
it'll
that would
be
be
good.
crazy.
That would be nuts.
That would be
But they said,
crazy.
he was like, it'll be good to get Marvel on the album. And I was like, oh, I never thought of that.
Wow.
He
Okay.
was like, yeah, we'd love to see what you lot sound like in 2021. Do you know what I mean? Like, what would you lot sound like? And I'd be like, do you know what? I would love to do that. So I got Double in the studio, got his verse, sent the song to Vertex in Ghana, and he didn't come through. So, I mean, I tried.
Hmm. Are you all, is your other band members, ex-band members, are they doing music solo as well? Or they just
No, no,
got,
no. He used to be a video director. He used to shoot all our videos. So he
okay.
stopped the music and he's just a director now. So he's shooting videos in Ghana. The other one is a musician though. He's an artist. That's probably why we connect so much because do you know what I mean? We're both artists, so we still talk to each other about music and what's going on, and we send them to each other and shit.
That's nice. All right. So let's take a few seconds breather whilst I go into the comments box and whilst you can also pick up your people that's watching. And just
Yes.
give you a moment to sip a juice or smoke or whatever you want to do in the meanwhile. Okay. This is where I put on my 2020 vision because I can't see down to the right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are enjoying the live so far, please throw me up some love hearts.
What,
Let me
any
see.
love hearts? Are you lot enjoying this?
Are you enjoying this? We've had a few. I'm sending you back some waves, guys. Okay, for those of you that has
No,
sent some waves.
big up everyone that's in here though. Like I don't take it for granted at all. Like I proper appreciate it.
Okay, I'm trying to look at what's that DJ says I got beat all the time. I'm Jamaican. I know it's so normalized, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, my dad was super strict. My mum was more lenient because she got smacked a lot,
Yeah.
beaten. I mean, not to say smacked, and she just. So I wasn't raised on the licks. I didn't really need it actually. To be honest, I weren't such a bad kid, although I did run away for a little while. But yeah, all right. I'm a bit like you. I'm a free spirit, Shocks. Someone was
Definitely.
saying something here, and I want to acknowledge what someone was saying. Hang on. North London is the melting pot for artists. Yeah, proud to see all of you guys. All right. Let me see. All right. Basically, I take these on and off because the light reflects too much on it, and it just looks weird when I'm watching it back. So
Oh, I
that's
see.
why. Shocka, today, as I was browsing and paying keen interest in you coming
Mm-hmm.
on today, before I go into what I watched today and where we can go on,
Yeah.
in this discussion, I'd like to say to you viewers, when I came across, I don't even know how I came across your page.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, yeah, floating through Instagram, and I personally, I mean, I've been told by many people, just follow anyone, yeah, which I haven't. Follow anyone, and then you get more followers because they'll follow you back, and then unfollow them. I'm just not playing that game. That's probably why I don't have a lot of followers currently. But I'm new, and we all got to start somewhere, yeah. So I tend to follow pages where they put in that content that I genuinely want to see and experience. Okay, so I came across your page, and your spirit just felt like a hug.
Yeah.
I've never, you know, I said to you, your spirit felt like a hug. I was like, I've never come across a young man, because I'm actually thinking you're in your 20s as well. You know?
Yeah.
You're young, yeah? I've never come across a young man that is so, for a black brother, I'm going to keep it real, yeah? So transparent, so holistic, so connected. And I'm like, some people just pull you, frequency wise, and that's how I felt. So I came straight to your inbox after looking at a few posts, and I was like, I saw the first video I saw you talking about mental health, and it must be deep rooted, but we can go into a little bit later. And I was like, I really want to have this young man come do a live with me. I hope he replies. And I was so glad that you humbly did reply, because when you don't have a lot of numbers in your new page, as you know, people look at all of that like, oh, she ain't got thousands of followers, so why should I bother? But you were so humble. You were like, yeah, cool, I'll sort out some dates. We went back and forth, and here you are. So that's the reason why different people I would call on for different reasons. But as I feel one of my greatest gifts is soul connectivity, you align with that perfectly.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so thank you again for gracing us with your presence.
No, not a problem. I wanna encourage and fight for anyone that's like trying to do something positive and chase their dreams, because it's not easy. Like, it's really not easy. There's people that go through this. There's people that's gonna go through this like whole entire life and not attempt to do it. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And have that regret of like, I wish I could have done it.
I wish. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anytime I see anyone, no matter what age, like stepping out and I can play a part, and they hit me up and say, oh, can you jump on my live, or can you give me a shout out, or can you promote I always do it because I understand.
Okay, good. I'm going to be in your inbox from now on then. So how do you manage to obtain and maintain such a humble spirit in a world filled with so much inflated egos? And you know what I mean? Because when people turn the lights off, their real life starts. On social media, they're everything. Yeah, everyone's a healer, oracle. It's so heightened, as you know. How do you manage to maintain such a grounded and humble spirit about you? How?
My friends, I got good friends, man. I got good friends. Like, most of my friends are like, they got morals, they got principles. I got good friends. I got good friends.
They keep it real with you.
They keep it real, and they wouldn't allow. Do you know what I mean? They'll check me. They'll check me. I got friends that would be like, "Yo,
I'm that friend."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I got a few of those, and they will check me and let me know, like, you're getting a bit too big for your boots, or I don't like how you came across when you said that, or I got good friends. And plus, the people that I like look up to and aspire to be like, they're humble as well, and they conduct themselves in a certain manner, and that reminds me of like how I eventually want to be. So that's what like really inspires me to be like this, is the people that I look up to.
That's amazing.
See, I got someone here, my friend Wit, she's a girl. She said, we will cuss you, and that's what she commented.
I'm glad. Thank you, friend, for being who you are, because I'll tell you briefly, I have very few friends, and you know, sometimes you could be popular, but then I'm very PO box with a lot of people, and the reason why, no one wants to hear no, and I'm very good at saying no. Yeah, I'm unapologetic about my time, when I want to lock off, when I don't want to answer my phone. I'm very responsive to people if they message me or ring me, but there's times where I'm very good. People know I love my own company.
Same.
Just as much as I love others, I'm good in my own company. I love being by myself, and that's something that I escape all the time. And that's another topic, but you understand.
Yeah.
So for me, I have a clear picture of the difference between connection and attachment. Yeah, connection and attachment is two different things, people. Whether that's in relationships or whether that's in your friendships, that's two different things. And so, in terms of telling people yes, no, or checking them, I find that my friendships were done in a second because I've said no, or they don't want to be checked. 35 years of friendship will be done in 24 hours because I said no.
That's not real friendship, though.
You know what it is? Let me explain something about that word called real friends, though. Okay, just because someone isn't thick-skinned doesn't make them real, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to really think about this because sometimes we have this analogy of they weren't there, they're not real. Sometimes
no, but I mean in the sense of like for them to leave after you said no. Do you know what I mean?
Straight up.
I said no to my friend today. Like one of my good friends today wanted to use my license for something, and I was like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I said no about it, and we just continued talking. Like nothing happened after. So
and that's all good. I'll give you a prime brief example. I had past tense a friend I've known since 10, 11.
Yeah.
And she kept saying she's going to come and see me and never would turn up on the particular day.
Yeah.
So me being tight with the way I am with my time and everything like that, I thought, you know what? No, that's unacceptable. But around the 100th time with me, see, that's now I do it from day one. But 100th time back then, I said, listen, I found you unreliable, you know, and, you know, time is currency. Yeah, basically, in other words, back then, never heard from her since. This is going on like over 10 years. We've never actually had a disagreement. That was it.
She was triggered.
Well, you know what?
She was triggered, and she probably just wasn't mature enough to say that she was triggered and how she's going to change her ways. She probably just thought, you know what, the best thing for me to do is just avoid you altogether. And yeah, she's gone.
And that's an example. So if you have friends that check you and you can check them and you are solid, I'm very glad you have that level of frequency around you. That's a good thing. So before I carry on, is there anything you'd like to ask me or mention to the viewers? As I take a breath.
Oh shit! What would I want to ask you? You mentioned you got a son. I don't know where I saw that. Where did you?
On your page today, yeah?
Yes, on my page, and that just like intrigued me a bit. I was like, oh, like, and you said how old is he? If you don't mind sharing.
I don't mind. I'm as transparent as you. My son's 28. He was 28 recently, like last week. And what it was, I came across your post where you were talking about so many posts that you hit me, and I'm like, this guy's gonna have me crying all day. I can't. Shocka, I had to lock you up. I was like, I can't. It's been because you got me like that, all messed up and shit. And I'm like, no, I can't. Yeah, I cannot. But every post, I'm like, no, I'm not ready for that emotion right now. No, and normally I'm not an avoider, but you just had me like this today, yeah? From yesterday. And so I saw a post where you're so real about when you said you don't feel like you're a man's man, but we're going to go into the layers in a minute.
Yeah. And
you're talking about the accents, but that in a way that I've never heard anyone speak their secret thoughts. And I said, this guy is special, you know. He is so special. Like, everyone's special as a human, but I know what I mean by special, innit? Yeah. And I was like, you know, well, I had my son at 17. I was a baby who had a baby. He's now 8. I'm 45 years young, 45 strong, and I'm also a grandma, aka grandmother.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Congrats on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to share that with you because obviously, you know.
Yeah, because when I saw it, when you said you was like 17 and I saw it, I was just intrigued. I was like, what was that like? Like, what was that like? It
was like where you've experienced, but I pulled myself back real quick before I got there.
Yes, I can imagine.
And I know that's a whole sentence that I know you fully understand about me even saying,
of course,
taking over your life.
Definitely.
Definitely, there's going to be other topics in the future, hopefully, where we can talk about that. Because I want to work with a lot of young parents, because I know that up here is a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, so the Shocka from Marvel to going solo to
Yeah.
then dealing with mental health.
Yes.
Where would you like to engineer the next part of the conversation? As I'm case sensitive with you at this point.
No, I'm wherever. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I'm good to go with it. I'm good to
Okay.
go with it.
So, let's go into once you left the group.
Yeah.
What made you then decide to go on and be a solo artist, and what age were you at the time?
Ah, shit. I always get. Do you know what? I'm so bad with ages. I'm so bad. Like the
What do
last,
you remember?
the
What's the
last,
closest thing
the
to
last
memory?
10, 12 years have been like a blur. But when I left Marvel, no, when Marvel broke up, so no, I got to go back. So this is what happened. Um, we got signed. Let me start from where we got signed because that's where everything started happening.
Mm-hmm.
So we got signed in 2010. 2010 was an incredible year. One of the best years of my life. I think 2019 has finally topped it. I've had another year that's topped 2010. Like 2019 was an epic year for me, but 2010 was the best year, like one of the best years of my life. We was like on top of the game, on top of the grime scene, probably one of the biggest groups in the grime scene, looking like we're about to blow and cross over to the mainstream. Um, we just toured with Chipmunk. We just toured with Diversity. Was just in the studio with Drake, meeting
I was
Rihanna.
just gonna go on to all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, like just in the studio with Drake, meeting Rihanna. All of these amazing things was happening. Amazing, like was tip to go. I remember our single, the release date of our single was 10-10-10. We tried to pick a special date so that like,
Wow.
yeah, it was 10-10-10. That was the
Wow.
release date of our single. So we tried to pick like a special date because we just thought like everything was in line. Do you know what I mean? The stars was in line. We were good to
Wow.
go. And then the single came out and it didn't do good. It went like top 200, not even top 100.
Okay.
It went like top 100. And then I remember Twin B. I don't know. I don't think you'll know who Twin B is, but Twin B is like someone that's really big in the music industry. He signed Rex 32, Stormzy, and all these people.
Is he currently still active in the
Yeah,
scene?
he's still
Yeah.
active. He just started a new record label called Def Jam UK,
Oh,
which
okay.
he just signed Stormzy to. So he's real active. But he said to us at the time, because he's got experience in the game, he said to us, "Don't be disheartened at the fact that you never did well with your single. Just come back again. Not every. It's rare for an artist to come out on their first time and smash it with their single. That is very rare. So don't get disheartened. Come back again." But the label that we was with, like, God bless them. I'm still in touch with them now. I'm doing business with one of them now, which is weird. It's come full circle that we're working together. But the label that was working with them, there was a brand new label, inexperienced, and they spent a lot of money on our campaign. That song that I said that we did 10-10-10 for, they spent
Mm-hmm.
like over 30,000 pounds in that whole campaign.
Wow.
And they thought that's how much they're probably gonna have to spend for the next campaign. So they was like, they didn't want to continue with they didn't want to continue for the next campaign. So they called us in for a meeting, showed us how much we spent, and told us they don't want to continue anymore. We got dropped from that. We got dropped from the record label, and then that's when like everything went downhill. Because this is a part I have to mention for people to understand why my first breakdown was so bad. Is because
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you've gone right here now. What that
yeah,
trigger
because
was.
I wanna take them on that journey. The reason why my first
Yeah.
breakdown was so bad is because I never had a balance of like good times and misfortunes. And I think
Mm.
that's really important. Like, it's really important to like have hardships. I think everyone that goes through hardships, they don't understand how much of a blessing it is. It actually conditions you and makes you a strong person and prepares you for
Thicker
this
skin.
thicker skin and
Resilient.
prepares you for like this
Mm-hmm.
life that we're actually in. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
like I never had that. Like throughout my whole life, it's always been like a smooth journey. As I said, I was the only child, and
Mm-hmm.
I was the spoiled only child, and I was getting everything I wanted. Like, do you know what I mean? I never had hardship, and I had friends that did have like,
Is that included girls as well? You've never been told no. Mm?
yeah, of course, but yeah, nah, of course. But even then though, even I remember that at that period of women, I never faced rejection either. Like, it was a smooth
Well, you
year.
had it on lock, innit, Shock?
I had it on Smash. Do you know what I mean? I had it on Smash. So it's like
Wow.
everything was like going up. Do you know what I mean? Everything. Whereas like your career's meant to go like this. Whereas like everything was going up. You gotta understand, when I joined Marvel was like 2008, I think, 2007, 8. And then, as I said, 2010 was the best year of our life. So that's like 2 years later.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Like straight away, straight in. Like people usually
Wow.
have like a 5-year journey before they start seeing success. But 2 years in, we're like,
Nice.
we're killing the whole game. So it's like, I never had doors slammed in. I never had that story of like doors being slammed in my face or getting told no. Do
Rejection.
you know what I mean? So by the time you get there, you're like thick skin. Like look at 50 Cent, for example, yeah? He was signed to, you're right, sir? He was signed to Columbia before Dr. Dre and Eminem. He got signed to Columbia. Then he got dropped from that label. Then he got shot 9 times. Then he got signed to Eminem and Dre. So by the time he got to Eminem and Dre, he was ready for the world. Do you know what I mean?
He
like
had a journey.
he had a journey. He lived a journey. Whereas
Yeah.
like I wasn't ready. Like I was a baby. Do you know what I mean? So when we got dropped from the label, I took it really hard. Like I think we was like what, 19, 20, 21?
Yeah.
We was at 19, 20, 21. So in my mind, I was thinking like my future's over. Because I never had my GCSEs and I never went to uni. When all my friends went to uni, I sacrificed it to do music. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, yo, it's over for me. So, and I remember at that time as well, I got sectioned the first time, end of 2011, going into 2012. And at that time, there was like a big spiritual awakening at that time as well. I remember I was reading a lot too. So like, I had a lot of idle time around that time. And like idle time's never good if you don't know how to use it. If you're not, I think idle time can be good if you're self-aware. As I said, you can, do so much things in that
Stillness, yeah.
Stillness, and you can use the idle time correctly. But if you're not aware, if you're not self-aware like I wasn't, idle time's not good because like I'm still struggling to control my mind now with all the information and how much I've evolved. So I can imagine how my mind was beating me up then. I can imagine that the thoughts that was running through my mind then, that me just, because I remember one of my neighbors came to, I got a next door neighbor called Isaac, and he came to visit me one time. And he came into the room and the lights was off and I was just in a dark room. And he put the lights on and he was like, yo, like, what's going on? Like, what's happening with you? And if that happened to me now, I would be able to say, oh, this is what's happening to me because I've evolved as a person. I know how important it is for me to voice what I'm going through because maybe he can help.
Yeah.
But at that time, I just kept everything I was going through to myself. Like nobody knew what I was going through. Even when I had the breakdown and ended up getting sectioned for the first time, all my friends were surprised because they was like, it didn't make no sense that we couldn't tell.
So let me ask you. So let's go back just one step so we can go forward in clarity. So it was being dropped that triggered that first meltdown for you.
Being dropped.
May I ask you?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so may I ask you, what was that first psychological experience when you had that psychological disalignment with yourself? What was the symptom? When did you know that something ain't quite right here? What was it for you? What was the symptom?
I didn't know. That's the thing. I didn't know. I only knew on
about coming in and you shouting, and then your auntie and your mum was there.
But by that time it was too late.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? By the time I came home and I was shouting and everything, that's when it was too late. And luckily for me, I tell the story all the time. I had an uncle that was living with me and he was a doctor in Nigeria. So when he came downstairs and heard the shouting, he said, call the ambulance. He's having a breakdown. And that's why they called the ambulance and I got sectioned for the first time. But looking back on it in hindsight, what the signs would have been would be the withdrawnness. The way I'm withdrawn now is completely different. I'm withdrawn, but I'm not withdrawn to the point of like, if someone came to see me, I wouldn't want to interact with them or I wouldn't come outside. At that time, I was literally withdrawn from the world. I had writing all over my walls. And looking back on it now, what I was writing wasn't crazy. It made sense, but the way I was expressing it, like...
What type of things would it say? Tell us what was you writing on those walls?
I was writing stuff like "I'm not crazy" on the walls.
Yeah, that's deep, you know.
Yeah, I was writing shit like "I'm not
Wow.
crazy," so that means like
Were
I
you
knew.
fighting? Were you fighting, trying to
Yeah,
relinquish that?
yeah, man. I
You
felt
know
like I
something's
had.
happening, but I'm holding on here. Was it one of those
Yes,
ones?
yes. It
Yeah.
was. I had so much going on, like mentally, and
Mm,
I needed someone to articulate it for me, but no one was there. And the
mm,
mistake I made is I didn't share either.
mm.
The mistake I made is I didn't share. That's why I'm such an advocate for mental health
So the
now, because I
stigma
know
of
the
you
importance.
and
This
maybe, yeah.
exactly could have
That's
prevented.
how I felt when I was young and I started feeling depressed. I'm like, because I was told you don't look it.
Yes, exactly. Whereas
Mm,
like this social media age, the reason why it's so beautiful is because it's a connection. It's a connection economy. The way you DM'd me and connected with me, now we're talking to each other face to face. That's incredible. That could have never happened before. So
yeah.
now I can put out a tweet and be like, "Who has thoughts like this?" And I can say the thoughts.
Yeah.
I can say the thoughts I'm having, and someone's going to respond and be like, "Yo, brother, I feel you. I had that thought yesterday." Then we
Mm.
can connect and we can work through it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas
I
that
heard
wasn't
some.
available.
I heard somewhere that you do not. I don't know if you don't subscribe to it, but I know you haven't had therapy. Is there a reason? Is there a reason why you don't do therapy, conventional therapy? I know you said that music, or as long as people are, expanding on their thoughts and letting it out, it's a way of their own therapy, which is very true. But do you not subscribe to clinical therapy? Is there a reason for that?
It's not I don't subscribe to it, but I feel like it's just because I had music as therapy. If that
Oh,
wasn't
okay,
there, I would have definitely had to go therapy. There's no escaping it. I would have had to talk to
okay.
someone. It's just because I felt like I had that, and I feel like people need to find what's best for them.
Mm.
People need to find some therapies might not be good for some people. Some people might not.
Everything is not for everyone. I mean,
Everything's not for
I'm.
everyone. So you got to find what your most music's like. I'm
Mm,
so when I get into that booth, I swear it's like freedom.
yeah.
It just pours out of me. Whereas maybe if I was talking to a therapist, maybe I won't be 100% honest. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I might be 98% and might be holding back 2%. Whereas like my music is actually 100% honest. Like like
Yeah.
I say, there's certain stuff. My mum, there's certain songs that I pray my mum never comes across because I know it's like
Mm,
we're gonna have a big conversation. Do you know what I
that's
mean?
like
Like,
me in poetry, so I get that.
yeah.
But let me just say for those who are watching, I like that you have your own avenue and channel for how you express yourself. For me, as a young girl, I always expressed my thoughts via short stories and poetry and that kind of thing. And I started writing from really young as well. But then as a young girl, because I didn't have anyone to talk to about my thoughts and feelings, come from a very strict Caribbean background, as I said,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to become a therapist and I began studying it. I've been on the longest break in history. I've got another like maybe 2-3 years, depending on what I want to, do. But I've got like 2 years in it and 3 years that I've studied. I'm much an advocate of therapy, and I must say to those of you that some people say, therapists can't help you. But what I'm going to say to you is this: just like when you go to the hospital, you have a knee doctor, eye doctor, arm doctor, toe doctor. There's
Mm-hmm.
different types of therapists, and some is not right for you.
Yeah,
Maybe,
definitely.
yeah. So you may have a therapist that just sits there and watches you cry, and you're like, oh my gosh, she just sat there. That may be her approach combined with her personality, and that's not right for you. Yeah. So when I was in college, I had a counselor that I saw, and I didn't mind going, especially if I wanted to become one. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I'd be crying, and she'd just be sat there. But what I realized was she specialized in humanistic therapy, which is about the
yeah,
here and now.
yeah.
With counselors that deal with psychodynamic, who deals with the past, they got a lot more in depth, and that shaped me to know what kind of therapist I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
Creating art therapist mixed with creative expression, that would be my ideal role. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm glad just for those who are watching that, therapy is not for everybody, but it can be for everybody. And just like a partner, if that one don't work, find the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely.
Straight. That's my philosophy with therapy, because people have a bad experience and they never go back. And I'm like, no, no, no.
Yeah.
The last partner didn't work out. Try another one.
Yeah, no,
Or
you gotta I feel like you gotta find what's right for you.
that's right.
You have
Go
to
to the
find
gym,
what's
work
yeah,
out, go. what I started doing. Yeah, but all right. So, what was it like, in your own words,
Yeah.
your first trip to mental hospital or mental institution, as some people like to? What
It
is the correct
was
like? Yeah.
it was a shock.
Were
I
you
think
scared?
I got section 3 times. Obviously, I know
Yeah, that I know.
yeah, you looked into it. I got section 3 times.
Yeah.
The first 2 times was a shock. Both
Were
of
you
them were
were
like
you scared? Were you angry? What was your what feelings comes to mind?
um the first time I got section was only for 5 days.
Okay.
So like it didn't really sink in. Do you know what I mean? Like the 5 days went quick, it was like a blur. And plus I was still in like I was still in like a weird space mentally, as in like I've spoken to other people about this and they said the same thing when they got section. I was still in that space of like I didn't know what was going on,
Mm.
if you know what I mean. So like it was kind of the first 5 days was kind of like a blur. But I remember the only time it hit me is when people came to visit me. Because
Mm.
when people came to visit me, it made me feel like these are the people that's okay that's coming to visit me. These are the people that's well and not, do you know what I
Okay.
mean? Whereas when you're in that surroundings, you're
Hmm.
not really thinking of it as anything. It's only when they come, when your friends and your family come to visit you and they
Hmm.
leave, it makes you feel like, oh, the people that's okay, that's well,
Can leave.
and
Oh.
allowed to go back into society are the ones that just
Mm.
came to visit me, and I have to stay here. And that's when like it kicked in.
Kicked in.
The only
Mm.
time I really took everything in was the third time I got section. The third time I got
Mhm.
section was the game changer. Like I was talking because the third time I got section, I actually asked to be taken into hospital. They gave me
That's
an
what you said.
option.
You accepted it. Hmm.
I accepted it. So that one is different. Whereas like the first 2 times I was kicking and screaming going into hospital. So that
Mm.
already lets you know what mentality I went into hospital with. That means I went into the
Mm.
mentality of I'm not supposed to be here. Do you know what I mean? So
Mm.
whereas like the third time I was actually talking to nurses, I was talking to other patients, I was playing table tennis,
Mm.
I made friends. Like I did
Did they
my
treat you well in the hospital? I mean, we hear so
I
many
got
other.
I was
Did,
really lucky. I was really lucky, man. And I feel like I've got like a survivor's guilt in a weird way because like I always see comments on my page saying like, well, my experience wasn't like that. My friend got section and he ended up committing suicide because of how they treated him. Do you know what I mean? All these stories whereas like I was so lucky, Sylvia. I don't think you understand that. I had like
well,
it sounds weird saying this, but like I had a good time. Do you know what I mean? Compared to like what other people went through. I had like a good time. Like
mm.
I met some
You got some
amazing people in
angels,
there.
you got angels walking with you. I tell you,
Definitely.
definitely do, definitely do. So when do you remember that first time when they diagnosed you with schizophrenia? Do you remember what
I got
what thoughts
diagnosed with
crossed your mind
schizophrenia.
when they said that word to you?
I got diagnosed with schizophrenia the second time.
Mm.
The first time I got diagnosed with manic depression
Oh
because
wow.
of how the first time I got diagnosed with manic depression. It's the second and third time I got diagnosed with schizophrenia. But when they said schizophrenia to me, I I didn't know how to take it because I'd never heard the word. It's only as of recently I've been like studying it and like
Mm.
learning and meeting other people. When I heard schizophrenia, I didn't think, I didn't know what I thought of it because I was thinking it's other stuff. I was thinking spiritual stuff because I'm from an African background. So
Yeah.
whenever we hear stuff like someone's hearing voices or like shit like that, we're thinking it's evil or he's cursed. So
Yes.
I
Yeah.
was thinking
Yeah.
along those lines. That I was
Yeah.
thinking,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was thinking, oh fucking hell, man, what's happened in my bloodline? Like, what's my great grandfather done? Or like, why me? I was thinking along those lines. I wasn't thinking about schizophrenia. What the fuck is that? And then
Mm.
when they said it to me, no, what really helped me think about that time in my mind was when I got sectioned the third time, and this white guy came up to me in the hospital, and he was like, "Shucks, man, I'm having a hard day today, man. I'm hearing voices. It's really difficult for me." And when he said that, I thought, huh? Ain't that a black thing? In
So
my
he was
mind,
aware of himself as
he was
well.
no, but
Yeah.
I thought it was like, oh, a black thing, if
A
you know what I
black
mean.
thing.
Yeah. So when he said that too, I was like, oh shit, like this happens to what? Like what's going? It didn't make sense to me. I was like, well,
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
races experience this, and then I heard the term schizophrenia, and then I started looking into it, and then I started meeting more other people, and then it started making sense to me, and then, yeah, and then I just been in that. That's when that.
So here's an important question for viewers as well as even for my own awareness. What for you?
Yeah.
I know you said you were unaware when it was happening the first time,
Yeah.
but what for you are the telltale lookout signs that people ought to be, the everyday person, to look out for as a trigger that maybe they've never had any issues before? And what would that be? What would be the first sign of a breakdown as far as you're concerned?
I feel like breakdowns can happen in so many different ways, can trigger a breakdown. I talk about this all the time. My trigger was music. Someone else's trigger could be a loss in their family. You could have a grandmother that you're attached to. I mean, that's looked after you for all your life.
Those are triggers, but what would be the first sign of the person having a breakdown?
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. It's after that.
Okay.
It's after that situation has occurred. Then you've got to monitor. Then you've got to monitor their behavior after that.
Okay.
Because they could become more withdrawn, or they could start turning to drugs, or they can start drinking, or like, do you know what I mean? Like those are. It's for me. It's like it's what caused the breakdown. What do you know what I mean? Like that. I don't. The reason why I can't go into the science, because everyone's science is different. Everyone, like with mental health, it's weird because like everyone's different. Like what got that guy that came up to me in hospital and said he's hearing voices, the white guy was telling me about, what led him to the hospital was completely different to what led me to the hospital. Do you know what I mean? Like it's different. So mental health is really tricky in that aspect. It's
quite
tricky.
ambiguous. I asked that because also, I mean, growing up, having my son at 17, no one spoke about depression or postnatal depression or anything like that.
Yeah.
And just like dyslexia, no one spoke about it either. Yeah. So me going to school feeling a little bit different, but knew that I was the talented one in the class, to be honest, or sometimes. I felt like I wasn't as quick learning as the rest, but I had creativity. With me. And so dyslexia, what's that? I just felt different, and I was like, I feel a bit different, I need extra help, kind of thing. But when dyslexia became, or Einstein's dyslexic, or so-and-so celebrity, it became so acceptable.
And that's what I'm so happy you mentioned that. I'm so happy you mentioned that, because that's what helped me. That's what helped me the third time. I started looking for, because by the third time, which was 2016, social media was popping. So I started using it the right way. I started looking for stories and people that's like in my industry that's experienced this and been through this, and not even necessarily stories of people that's experienced mental health. I just started looking for stories of people that turned their life around. That was my big thing. My big thing was that I wanted to turn my life around. Like I wanted to be like completely different. And I've achieved that to a certain degree. I'm still on that journey, but like if you talk to my friends and say the Shocka in 2012 and the Shocka in 2021, it's a completely different person. Do you know what I mean? It's completely different. And like I started one story that stuck out to me was do you know the guy that played Iron Man in Marvel?
What year are we talking about?
He plays Tony Stark's. I forgot his name.
I might be by face, but I can't recall his name.
Yeah, you probably know him by face, but like his story like really inspired me. Like he was addicted to heroin, and then he went prison, and then all of this shit happened, and then his friend was the director of Iron Man, and he begged his friend to give him a role, just give him a shot, and let him try out the role, and then he smashed the role and ended up making the movie become what it is. And like Robert, that's it. Someone put it in the comments. Robert E. Jr.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay.
Like stories like that. That shit, that stuff motivated me.
Inspired
It properly inspired me. And I was like, I used to always say to God, like, if you get me through this, I want my life to serve as a testament to someone else. I want them to look at my journey. That's why my Instagram's like that. I don't play with my Instagram. That's why it's so healing and welcoming, because like someone that I want them to see my page and feel like, oh my God, I'm at home. This is exactly how I'm feeling.
I feel like 100%. And we're like different age categories, and it makes no difference because of the content and transparency. So just to echo also what you're saying, and I go back and talk about being young and not even knowing what depression was. I think had I been educated, I would have definitely felt like back then, after having my son, that was happening to me. But what do I
Yeah,
know about?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it doesn't even exist until like 10 years after, when people talk about it. The KE, the
Yes,
keratoconus, no one talks
yes,
about it. So
yes.
I mean, it was so challenging. You know, I pulled everything within me to be this young mother, and I'm very proud of myself. But
Yeah,
my
you
God,
should be.
I definitely, thank you, on and off suffered with depression. But
Yeah,
this wasn't told to me in that way. But I knew because of how my moods were.
yeah,
But I would be, if I was to kind of I guess, diagnose myself, especially then, it would be someone who's fully functioning, because I look the same. The more
yeah,
depressed I got, the better I looked. You know,
yeah,
them kind of ones where you're
yeah,
not scared about it. And the house is always on point.
yeah,
Probably OCD people call me like, my house like a picture, everything's in its
yeah,
right place.
yeah, yeah,
And still, I mean, I have a friend, and she talks about it in a sense of calling it low vibration. I said, I like that. You take off that stigma. So I definitely know from young I've had those waves of low
yeah,
vibration. It's
yeah,
from last week, whether it's last year, I know. But
yeah,
once I heard it was like, oh my God, depression, mental health, and I'm like, do I want to be saying that out loud?
yeah.
The stigma, the
Yes, it's a
embarrassment.
stigma. It's a
But
stigma.
no one's ever told me that. But I know that I get low vibration from time to time. You know, like,
It's the way the stigma is viewed.
yeah.
The stigma is what's messing up everything, because it's like the label should be just as normal as your country and nationality. When I say I'm Nigerian, no one doesn't say Nigerian. I mean, it's just like, oh, Nigerian.
Are
Oh,
you sure? You sure did that?
no, but you know what I mean, though. It's, you
I'm
know what I
playing.
mean.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
Nigerian. Okay. Oh, Ghanaian. Oh, Italy.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what I mean? It's like that, and it's like.
Yeah.
But mental health is such a taboo that when someone says, "Oh, borderline depression," it's like, but these things happen. Like
Yeah.
there's,
Yeah.
and I'm so, I don't think you understand how grateful I am that I went through it, because it opened me up to a whole different
You're
world.
so strong.
Yeah,
So
it
tell
opened.
us, you are an ambassador of your charity, which is called Beyond. Tell us
Yes.
about that, then tell us about your clothing line, and then we're going to wind it down nice and slow, if that's all right with you.
So basically, I have you heard of Lad Bible?
No.
There's a page called Lad Bible, and they've got like really good content, and they wanted to branch into the mental health world. So
Wow.
they wanted to get two people that's been diagnosed with schizophrenia to sit down together and have a conversation. So they got,
Wow.
yeah, so they got me and someone else to sit down, and we both had a conversation about schizophrenia from our
Is that, you got footage on that?
yeah, that's on YouTube. You can
Got
find
that
it on
straight
YouTube.
after this. I want to watch that.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'll send it to you. And we're both talking about it from our perspective. But I didn't
Wow.
know that the guy that they got me to sit down with, called Johnny, I didn't know like he's got like MBEs and like he's doing his thing, and like I just thought, do you know
Wow.
what I mean, we just got two random, and he probably didn't know that I'm Shocka, and do you know what I mean, we just sat down, had a conversation, and we built a relationship. And he asked me to come down to one of his events one day, and I came down, and it was packed out, and it was amazing. And then like he told me about his charity. He said he's looking for a mental health ambassador. I said, yeah, I'd love to do it. And yeah, we've just been working ever since. So it just happened so naturally and
Wow.
organically.
Is that how you became a part of the book called Hope?
That's his book, and that's how
Yeah.
I became a part of it. He asked me to write something in it, and I did something for it. And yeah, that's like
Great.
the
Nice.
first book
That's
I'm a
a
part of.
great achievement. Okay. Wow. And so you have your own clothing.
Yes, I
Um,
do.
yeah, you have, is it, tell us about your clothing line. You've got a couple of different brands, don't you? If I'm
I've
correct.
got I got one called Impact Over Numbers, which
That I
is
think
like
I want one of those. Yeah.
which is like my philosophy. If anyone knows me, I'm like big on like making a positive impact on people. Like I'm so big on that. And so I got a hoodie called Impact Over Numbers, and I got another hoodie called Proton Gang. That's like my new one now.
Mm.
And yeah,
So
those two.
how do I
Impact.
get into the Pro Town gang?
You're in. You've been in the Proton
Okay.
Gang. You're in. From the first time we spoke, I knew you
Yeah,
was
I'm
in.
not
There's
supposed to be part of the gang, right, guys?
No, I always say like I don't know about anyone else's gang, but this gang, there's no age group. It's about your intentions.
That's it.
Your
I
intentions is
love
what
it.
gets you in. Like your intentions is what makes you a proton. If you walk into a room and you shake everyone's hands and you bring good energy, that's proton. That's a proton mentality. So
Okay, so that's where you got the inspiration behind the name.
yes, exactly. No, actually, one of my supporters helped me with that.
Ah,
Someone DM'd me and said, "Ah, you should call your fans the electrons. I was like, electrons? What are you talking about? There was like, your name Shocka, electrons. I was like,
Okay,
I was
okay.
like, what charge is there electrons? I was like, the electrons is a negative charge. I was like, what's the positive charge? There was like protons. I was like, that's
Oh,
the one.
wow.
Yeah.
That is so meaningful. Wow. So on that journey, as we wind down the live, have you ever come across anyone in the public eye? Okay, we talk about people that we see on the TV or people we meet in person that inspires us. But
Yeah.
have you ever met someone that's inspired you what not to be or become? You know, the ones we're like, I needed to see that or meet that person because I don't want to end up like that.
Yeah, myself. I think my past self.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's deep.
yeah, that's being brutally honest. I think that's being brutally honest. I feel like um I feel like most people that change and evolve is because they was fed up of themselves at some sort at a core level. They was fed
Mm-hmm.
up of their shit. Some people try to sit in that shit for like ages and just, do you know what I mean? Some people never change and just sit in that shit, but I got fed up of it. So not only was I going through my mental health issues, I also wasn't happy with the person I was.
Yeah.
I saw you comment on one of the freestyles that I did, that street sermon thing, where I'm sitting next to the guy and I'm giving him advice.
Oh
And I
my
said,
God.
you know what I mean? And like,
I love that. Do you know that? I love
yeah,
it.
I saw you comment on that. And that
I
like
love it. That was amazing.
that whole lyric, that how does it go?
It's
Um
unpredictable, that video. I didn't expect it to go like that. Yeah. Yeah.
People think to be great that there's no stress to it. In order to be great, there's a process to it. So if you've got a purpose to fulfill, sometimes God might destroy you just to rebuild.
Mm.
People love the
Mm.
Shocka they see now. But before this Shocka had to get killed. That was bad mind, lying, addictions, all of it. God sent me signs to change and I was ignoring it. Just that first four, like,
That was amazing. I
destroying
love
myself and rebuilding and letting the world know what I was destroying, the bad mindness, the lying, the addictions. That's something we all go through. And that's something some people want to live with that forever. And some people are willing to go through what it takes to destroy all of that. And I was willing to just kill my old self and evolve into this person that I am today. So
I call it
I
the
would say
rebirth.
it's the
Yeah.
rebirth. So I would say like,
Mhm.
yeah, my past self was someone that I saw and thought, nah.
That is amazing. So for those who don't know,
Yeah.
or maybe they do know, I'm just going to wind it down with a couple more questions, a little bit more random.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what is Shocka's favorite food, favorite drink. Go on, let's start with that. What's your favorite food?
I'm a wing connoisseur. I love chicken wings.
Really?
Yeah,
I
man.
jollof rice, 'cause that's my favorite. So I'm putting on weight, you know, jollof rice. I got to stay away from your restaurant. It's killing my figure.
Yeah, I love wings. Like anyone that knows me, they just bring wings to me. Like if you want to do something, if you want to find your way into my heart, bring wings to me. Like
Okay.
I love
Okay.
chicken wings.
Favorite
Like
wings, was that breast pie or what?
breast.
Good choice. Good choice. On the right side of the street, boo boo. Okay.
Yeah,
What's
man. I love
your
chicken
chicken?
wings. Yeah,
So is that jerk, peri peri? How do you like your chicken?
jerk.
Okay. What's your favorite drink?
Oh, there's
Be
this
it
new
alcoholic or soft, whichever you choose.
um alcoholic Jack Daniels.
Oh, okay.
Alcoholic Jack Daniels, and then soft drink. There's this new tropical drink. That I don't know if you stumbled across it, but they've even got Instagram, and I DM'd them to send me some drinks, and they did. So big
Wow,
up.
they said it.
Yeah, they sent me some drinks, man.
Wow.
So big up them. Like I proper appreciate it. But yeah, it's that drink that's got me hooked at the moment.
Okay, so are you a chocolate or crisp man? If you are, what's your favorite?
Chris, red assorted.
Oh
If
God,
you
Chris
wanna
is my weakness.
if you wanna find your way to my heart, red assorted Chris. Chocolate. Chocolate. Is it what's it called? The Bueno the Bueno ones?
Oh my God. No,
Is it
I'm thinking
is it
Ferrero Rocher.
Kinder Bueno?
I don't even know. I know that I don't know what it tastes like. I've never tried it.
Yeah, that there, you're missing out. Silver, you need
No,
to
I'm
get
not
with the
allowed.
program.
That is a super treat for me because listen, at my age, I can't afford the calories. Okay, the calories are expensive for me right now, bro. Oh, anyway. And lastly,
Yeah.
where is your favorite place in the whole world?
Where's my favorite place in the whole world?
Yeah, where it means to
Um,
go to escape, to relax, or to have fun. Where's your favorite place in the whole world?
do you know where I fell in love? I fell in love with New York.
Really?
I went to New York twice in 2019. I had 2 performances out there, and like I
Wow.
proper fell in love with it. It's like their vibe, like they're it's a free spirited city. It's a free spirited
Mm.
city. Like anyone that's been to New York, if there's anyone in here that's been to New York, you know what I'm talking about. Like the vibe, the energy, the hustle.
I'm
Like
yet to go.
yeah,
Mm.
it's
Okay.
beautiful. It's amazing.
So, Shocka, we've come to the end of our talk on free
Yeah,
flame thoughts. I'd
this was
love
a
to
long
ask
chat.
you, yeah. I could have been here asking you a billion more, but I know the night is becoming like, yeah, morning's gonna
Yeah,
come soon in your backdrop.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So here's your last wind down question.
yeah.
Tonight you've been on Free Flame Thoughts with myself, Silver.
hmm
What has it been? What's it been like with you? For you, what's your afterthoughts?
Um, I feel free. I feel
Mm.
free. I feel like it's been. Kanye West said in his Breakfast Club interview, Charlemagne, that they asked Kanye West why he don't go to therapy, and he said something that like I resonated with. He said he uses the world as his therapist.
Is it
So like
working? Is it working?
it must be like Kanye is not in the like the the system paints him out like he's crazy, but
Yeah. Okay.
Kanye's. Do you know what I mean? Like that's not a crazy man. Like that's not he's trust me, Kanye's mind's functioning correctly. That's not a crazy man at all. He just topped the Forbes list. You don't just top the Forbes list by accident if you're not doing something right. Do you know what I mean? Like
I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's crazy. I think we've all got triggers in us. Like people talk about,
yeah,
um,
he definitely has some issues which he's admitted to, and he
is
did
it?
get admitted into hospital. So we know he's definitely got some issues. But like I understood what he meant by using the world as his therapist. I feel like if
Oh,
you're willing to be 100% transparent with everyone you come across, then that's going to become a therapeutic conversation every time you meet someone. Does that make
mhm.
sense?
It
Because
does. People, I think I annoy people by being like that. That's me every day.
yeah, but if they if they're willing to be if they're willing to be transparent with you, then the healing can take place.
Okay.
The only time it
Okay.
can't work is when the other person is still trying to front. Then the therapy session can't take like if you go to your therapist and you're fronting, then it's a waste of money.
It's a waste of
The whole
time. It's a
point is
waste
that
of
she
time.
wants you to like actually open up and let her know what's going on. Then she can actually help. So I felt like
100%.
the reason why this conversation is therapeutic is because we was both allowing ourselves to be transparent and having a good conversation. So then it can free flow.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, Shocka artist, it has been such a pleasure. As I said, your spirit, I just need to send you a billion virtual hugs because
Oh,
you're just
thank
so
you.
wonderful. Yeah. I'm going to meet you in the near future. Allow the frequency
Definitely,
and wave to do its thing. In the
definitely.
meanwhile, thank you so much for stopping by and sharing your autobiographical life with us. It's been a pleasure.
And someone said Kanye's problem is his delivery. But if you understand what he's saying, then boy,
That's
thank
truth.
you, Jordan.
That's truth.
That's the
Yeah,
truth. It's
that's
his
truth. But
delivery that's like messing everything up. But like I look beyond the delivery, and I'm trust me, I'm understanding everything he's saying, and Kanye's on the right track.
okay. Because you said so, I'm gonna take your word for it.
No, but Silver, this was amazing, and like whenever you need me, just let me know. Like whenever in
Thank
the
you. And that's
future,
a great thing. Do not hesitate to holler at me. Yeah?
definitely.
Peace and love, you most beautiful soul. Feel free to exit yourself on the little cross wherever you see it.
Yeah.
Speak to you soon. Thank you. Peace
Take
and
care.
love. That's it.
See you later, everyone. Love for sticking in, man. That was like, what was that? How long was that?
Oh my God, about an hour and a half, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
about an hour and a half, man. Thank you, everyone, man. Appreciate it.
See you, Shaka. Peace and love.
Bye.
Bye. Wow, guys, that was amazing. I really enjoyed it. Thank you guys for joining. Feel free to follow next week, Wednesday and Friday. I have two brand new guests. If you would like to be a guest speaker, please inbox me. Absolutely any topic goes as long as it flows. Peace and love.